Alright, tonight we're at a Honda with an e-test failure. It's got a heated oxygen sensor code, P0135. And it's bank 1, sensor 1. And bank 1 on these small cars is always the O2 sensor forward of the converter. Bank 2 would be the sensor after the converter. I see this one's got a valve cover bolt missing. Anyway, let's look at the code. Okay, P0135. Okay, always confirm you have the right parts, and on this 89 automatic, this is the one I'm using. And what I mean by confirm, make sure that your wire harness is the right length and that your plug is the same. And it looks to be the same, which is plugged in down here. I'm going to unplug it and then make sure that the pins are all the same, because you could get into a situation, I'm going to have to put you guys down to do this, I think, that it won't plug in. That looks the same to me. Okay. Okay, I don't know if you can see it down here. Sometimes these are a little tricky to pull off that steel bracket. Now it'll sit like this, and if you put your finger in here, on here is a little tab you can push. And if you do it just right, and a lot of times rust will build up in there, so you're gonna have to really reef on it. There, just like that. Alright, so the next part, you're going to take the O2 sensor out of the manifold. Try not to heat the manifold if you can. Sometimes they get stuck in there and you don't have a choice. But what normally happens, you'll lose the threads off the O2 sensor. It'll stay behind in the manifold. You can use the 7/8 wrench to take them out, box them, but you're going to have to take the heat shield off the manifold. It's better off to get an O2 sensor socket. Now, it just happened I borrowed the kit from work. Now you got different shapes, sizes. This is the one we normally use, but this one here, because it's deeper, will probably get in there. I'm gonna have clearance issues, so you just slide that sucker on there like that, like this. And sometimes you use a hammer on here and knock it this way. It's better to use an extension though, and Johnson bar if you want. You just have to have the right setup. Hang on. All right, let's see if I can get this out without ripping the threads out of off the O2 sensor. If so, we have a thread chase. I don't have a part number on that. So a lot of your auto parts stores down the States, they'll actually rent you the tool or loan it to you, so you can save yourself some money by not buying a set. And this one here is not going to come out very easily, which I was afraid of. So we're going to try the short socket on it. This one has too much twist, so I'm going to try. And of course it's a different size. Be right back. Okay, I know what you're going to say before I do it. Jesus, you're going to wreck your snap-on ratchet. You know what? I can't find my 3/8 Johnson bar, so we're going to do this. I got the jack handle in it. Hopefully it comes out. Oh, and the ratchet probably broke. It's moving. Alright, now I need to take it off and get another bite on it. Anyway, you guys don't need to watch me take this out, so when I get it farther along, actually maybe I'll let you guys watch. If I have any trouble with this, you're gonna see. Anyway, it shouldn't take that long. Normally they come right out. You're gonna get a stubborn one once in a while, and if I pull the threads out of it, you're gonna see how I fix it, because I brought the thread chase home. Anyway, get that sucker out of there. Right back. Alright, so this one's not going to come out. You can use a propane torch if you want. I'm going to cut the heat shield back just a little bit, just so I can get the tip in there. This is an older car. It's not going to hurt a whole lot. Just makes your life easier, and it's going to be faster. I'm not going to heat the O2 sensor itself. I'm going to heat the base where the O2 sensor goes in. I'm going to hope to hell that it doesn't rip the threads out of off the O2 sensor. Sometimes it only takes a little tickle and it'll let go. Sometimes it takes a lot more. But this should have been a 5-minute job. This turned into a nightmare. And you know, when you're working on cars, old cars, that's what happens. You get that little tickle, get that off. Now hopefully it comes out now without too much trouble. We're already into it now, so we need to get this out. I think I busted my ratchet. Yeah, okay. It's not a good idea to do what I'm doing with your ratchet, but there we go, broke it free. Sometimes it'll take a lot of heat. And I definitely messed the ratchet up, so Snap-on will be getting that one back. That's where it's nice to buy quality tools made in the USA, because the warranty on them, I mean, they're not stupid. They know what you do with your ratchets. But most of the guys, they'll fix it for you. And some of the ones that are older like this, they'll just give you a new ratchet. It's not worth it. Okay, spin that out of there. A lot of times once it gets broken free, you can take it out with your fingers. This one's just being, because of the way the manifold's made, makes it a little bit harder. I'm going to use the socket because it's hot in there. A lot of times once it gets to a certain point, oh, hang on guys, you can just pull it right out. Now there's other tricks. I'm sure there's tricks to this on other people have to take your O2 sensor out that's stuck. If you want to leave a comment down below, go ahead. The more information for everybody, the better. Okay, I'm going to spin this out the rest of the way. No sense watching me do it. Actually, you could probably do it in fast mode. Oh. You're going to inspect the threads on it. They look pretty good. You can see right there, they look pretty good. That means the hole down there should be good. You can look down there and make sure. If you're not 100% sure, you can use the thread tap. Now, if the threads on the O2 sensor look like they've been ripped off, and I don't have one here to show you, I wish I could. You can see it looks like, you can see the threads. I get this thing to focus. Anyway, if they look like they've been ripped off, look down the hole. Well, you should be checking your threads anyway. If they're left in the threads on the manifold, you're going to need a thread tap like this. And just happens we pounded a big nut on there because sometimes there's not enough room for that. The size, I'm not 100% sure. 18 mil by 1.5. You'll need something like that. And I doubt if you're going to be able to rent that. Anyway. Okay, now this new O2 sensor, and most of them that come new, should come with this copper paste. Put that on the threads. Do yourself a favor now, because you ever have to take it out again, guess what? It'll come out, hopefully. Don't get it up into this part right here. You just want enough to cover the threads. That's all you're doing. Doesn't have to be fancy. Just like that. Then reinstall. Do not force the threads, because it'll make your job a lot harder. Okay, so make sure you hook your wire harness back up in the proper holders it came with, because if you don't, they could touch, the wires could touch the manifold, burn off, and then you just wasted your money. So make sure it doesn't hit anywhere. And I don't know if you guys can see this, probably not. I'm going to plug it in first, and I've already pre-checked, make sure that it works. It'll plug in like that. Now that little slot there goes on that blade there, like so. And then, okay, so the next step is always confirm your fix, guys. You have to make sure that O2 sensor is working. If you have a wiring harness issue, then it'll show up right now. Okay, so we're gonna go in here and we're gonna look for O2 sensor heater on. So it is working. HO2S1, we don't care about that one. We want this one right here. So what we're gonna do is, there's one more, make sure I got the right one. We're gonna graph it so we can watch it. Now you should get a nice uniform pattern from anywhere from 0.2 to 1 volt, I think, on this one. Some cars are a lot different. You don't have a O2 scan tool at home, don't worry about it. This has to pass E-test for Ontario Drive Clean, so that's why we're going through the trouble. And this car will have to have a drive cycle test after it's done. I'm not exactly sure how to do 98, so we'll have to look that up yet. And you can see my pattern is staying right down the center. If this was a dead O2, it'd be on the ground right here, and then the engine would be flooding out. Since it was only an O2 sensor heater circuit, it probably was okay on gas mileage, because once you get going down the road, it would warm up and it'd work alright. You can see the heater is on right now. After the car warms up, the heater is going to go out a bit. It'll go out. Anyway, so what I'm looking for is an even wave pattern, and that's pretty good. It's not 100%, but the car's still a little bit cold, so what I'm looking, just want it down the middle. That's all we're worried about. That looks good.